I set myself up for 2 hours of spending with the Lord every day, and I prayed every day, every day, every day. And I prayed for my wife, Cyndy, and I prayed for myself, and I prayed for our marriage. I started praying Ephesians chapter 5. Lord, I thank you that I love my wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present her to himself a glorious church, not having spot or blemish or any such thing, that she should be holy and without blemish before him in love. I love my wife as my own body. I love my wife as myself. I don't hate my own flesh. I nourish and cherish it as the Lord does the church. You get the idea, okay? So, was I praying that to change my wife? No. Was it changing my wife? Yes. But it was changing me too. Okay? Because if I was a jerk, then the Word of God would help me get rid of jerkiness. Right? But I'm praying the Word. I'm praying the Word. I had learned in Bible college and I had learned at church that you get the Word and you pray the Word. And you sing the Word. And you get the Word in your life in strategic ways so that it'll build you and it'll build your marriage and it'll build these areas of your life. And it was important.